Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Notorious Squirrel, and today I'm wanting to run through this amazing bit of kit, which is the RabbitLabs Defcon33 badge, supported by Pirates Plunder and many of these amazing names as well. Let's see that silk screen. If you want to, I'm not going to blather on about the silk screen. If you want to hear me whittle on about that and these amazing designs, see the unboxing video. But today we're going to concentrate on flashing and how to do that. So as you can see today, to turn the badge on, press the power button up near Talking Sasquatch's head, and your charge lights come on. When this is charging, these will sequentially bop up, so you know that's got a nice full charge and they're excessively bright. So I'm going to put my thumb over that for a second, and then you have your boot reset buttons and your joggle stick, and then up here to flash this you will need UART. If you don't know what UART is, I'll jump into that protocol in a second, but these pins are what's going to flash the device. You will not be able to flash the device off the USB-C. This is just for power management only. So this goes back to a nice sort of the old school way of flashing devices, when we couldn't just rely on web flashes and USB-C cables. So yeah, we're going to be using a UART, and there's a different connection to that with some DuPont clips and things like that, but I'll go through that now. So what we'll do first of all is turn this off. To turn the badge off, you just double tap that, and then that's gone. As you can see, just one last look of all before we get into the technical side. Incredible. So for flashing this, I'm going to take the battery out, because we don't want to, I'm going to be putting a 3.3 volt DuPont on there, so I don't want any power messing uppery and it sort of jumping across and not knowing what's going on and not flashing properly. So we'll prop you there, put this battery over here safely. This is a UART, and this is a protocol just for flashing. Let me just, yeah, this is your UART, so it's just like a little USB, and it has these different little connectors on it. Go into focus, god damn you. And as you can see there, I've got the ground, I've got the RX, the TX, and the 3.3 connected. Obviously the ground is the ground, the RX is the receive, the T is the send out. So the RX and the TX are the ones that are going to pass the data back into, and then 3.3 volt is the one that powers the badge. So one of these, I'll put a link onto the one that I bought off Amazon, but yeah, they're about, they range in price really. RabbitLabs do an excessively sexy looking one. This was just a £4 or £5 one off Amazon, but I do intend to get the RabbitLabs one because it just looks amazing. There's more functionality to it as well than this one. This is just a bit of a crappy one, but it gets the job done. And then like I say, on the other side you've got these UART, these DuPont clips that will not focus in. Yeah, there you go. So it's little single pin connectors. Obviously remember your colours. What you will need as well next is RabbitLabs website. So if you go onto the RabbitLabs website, the team over there have nicely given you a description of the badge, giving you links to the firmware, and giving you links to the screen, things you'll need to buy. They've also given you sort of pinouts for that screen, giving you loads of good information, some more information about the code and sort of fixing and getting the SD card to work properly. And then they're giving you a nice section of how to operate the badge. Important one here for initial important note number one, the flashing. It gives you the pinout run that you need to do once you get it over and you want to flash it, so make sure that you stick to that. And again, left to right, so holding the badge with the UART to the left and the ESP32 chip to the right. So you want to hold it when you're doing that pinout, and you're looking at that pinout on the website, you want to hold it that position. So you're from left to right, you've got your 3 volt, you've got your RX, your TX, and your ground. So it's in that orientation, left to right, when you're looking at it from this point of view as you're looking at it now. Moving on, important note 2, while the RX is fully tested, CC modules, yep, great, gives you a pin out of the ESP32, and then it says disclaimer, and then you can run and play. So just so you can come and read that at a later date, and I'll show you how to do it. The next thing you want to do is go to your firmware, and your firmware for me is I want some full functionality of the screen and all the bits that Rocket God's put on it. So come over to Rocket God's page, which is this. Obviously the link I'll put in the description, but it's also on RabbitLabs website. And here it has all the INO files and everything. It gives you a little description there of how to run in with Arduino. And then nice little logo there. But then this is where you want to go, to releases. So go to releases, assets, and then if you're wanting to manipulate code and do it, source code there. But if you download all these, and then it's the merged bin that I'm going to be flashing over once all these are on. So what I've done is I've made a RabbitLabs file, as you can see here. I've got a few little other bits going on, and then I've got a .bin file. And then you'll put all of my bits into that .bin file. So when I go over to the terminal to flash it, which is the way I'm going to be flashing it today, and the way I've kind of found the most easiest at the minute, but I'll do more videos on different ways to flash and manipulate the code and use VS Code, Platform IO, which I'm just sort of learning how to use in conjunction with this badge at the minute. But I'll be doing this via the terminal today. So once you've downloaded these, you've got these downloaded, you've got them in a file structure that you're happy with, you can then open your terminal, and I've been playing around here, and you want to get yourself to where you want to go. So let's have a look at where we are. Let's get ourselves to where we want to be. And then look, yep, we're exactly where we need to be with all those bin files in there. So let's just drop that down a second. Let's come back to the camera and let's connect this badge up. So, like I said, with the pinouts and the way that you need to do them, the way I've got mine set out here, from right to left. So I've got my ground. Oh, drop that there. So I've got my ground first, and I've got my, let's go back over. And I've got my white, so I'll read it for you. And then I've got my white RX that I'm putting to TX, because it goes TX to RX, just so you're aware, because information has to be sent from one and received by the other. And then last of all, on the end, we've got our 3.3 volt pin, and that is going to power the badge. Oh, I see, we will stick this up here so you can see it, it's nice and pretty. And then we will get our extension USB here, blah blah blah. 1 moment later, and we'll get this plugged in. As you can see there, a light popped on there, so at least I know I've got the power in the right orientation. So to check this, and also you want to check what USB you're plugged into. So we can see there, if you put in this ls/dev/tty acm, I'll put this in, so I'll put a step-by-step kind of guide in here as well. Write this in the terminal and it'll show you sort of where you got something plugged in, and for me, I know I've only got that plugged in, so I know that I am on USB 0. So going from that, I know I've got no firmware on it, but if you just want to be sure, here is the second terminal. Oh, the other one as well, sorry, is you want to make sure that you have Esptool to do this method I'm doing today. If you haven't got Esptool, download that. It's pretty straightforward. If anyone needs any help with that, give me a shout. But to check your, let's just clear this first while we're here. So I'll do an erase flash on this, so just in case there's anything on there, it will erase it and give us a nice clean slate to build up on. Oh, sorry, it won't do that because I'm an idiot and need to put it into boot mode. So with this, there's your boot button. Hold your boot button, pull USB out, put it back in, hold it for a second or two, and then let go. And then, numpty, you will be able to erase whatever's on there, and it will not give me any fatal error messages and not call me an idiot. So once you've done that, if you want to check what version you've got, or if you have it at all, you can put which ESP in, it'll show you whereabouts that is. So once you've made sure that you've got Esptool on there, you have erased the flash, or you've erased potentially anything on there that may cause your next flash to be a problem. Obviously we've got ourselves into the correct folder that we have our merged file and our .bin files. We put this tool in, so esptool.py, then the chip, so we're using ESP32S3, then we use the port, so obviously these different arguments delineate where we're doing it, so the port, and that has to be that port with USB 0. If you are USB 0, obviously do the previous command to check where that port is connected into. Our board, which at the minute I'm going to run this on the 921600. If you have issues with this, you can also drop it down to 115-200. I found both of them work at the minute, to be honest. Right flash Z, and obviously our bit there, I can't remember what that is off the top of my head, 0.x, and then our file. Obviously make sure we're in the right directory to do that file. And once we've done that, oh, we don't press plus, that's not going to do anything, we flash, and you should see these little percentage increases if it's flashing correctly. And then once this is done and it's hit 100%, you're rocking and rolling, and the badge is fully functional, running off Rocket God's firmware. And there we have it. It's hard resetting via RTS pin. So once it comes up saying hard reset, we are fully done. It's confirmed everything, and we are rocking and rolling. So let's jump back onto the camera, and we will get everything unplugged and set up and the battery back in. Right then, here we are. So be careful with your pins. Do these pins sort of one by one, because you can sort of pull and snag, and you don't want to. Obviously the pins are cheap and they don't really mean anything. I don't mind ripping those pins apart, those DuPonts, because they're point of a pence each. You just don't want to damage this UART connection. What we're looking for now, the battery. Obviously plus and minus, make sure you're putting your battery in the correct way. Sounds obvious, I know, but it happens. Once your battery is back in, give her a tap. Should get a bit of a flashing on the other side to say hello baby. Hey everyone, and now we have the battery back in, we will turn her on. One of the things I need to do is I need to get this on VS Code Platform IO and just spin this screen around. At the minute the orientation is upside down. You can see there's this cool DEFCON logo, little super explosion. You can see on the back of my hand there the LED lights are doing their thing. Just going for it. Boot up, debug, hardware ready. And here we go. Here are the features. We've got RX mode, TX mode, we've got jammer, we've got Tesla. Then we're into the settings. And then about credits. Quick look into settings, you've got module A, and that does change to module B. Not sure what that does yet, but I'll find out. We can change the frequencies that we're running on. We can also change these different sort of frequency protocols here as well. And display settings and save. We're going to display brightness, we can change the pattern, and just running through some of the patterns. Obviously here there's I think it's like 30 different patterns or something. There's absolutely tons. It just keeps on going. Got some really cool ones, and I intend also to do some videos and content on how to make your own LED patterns as well with this. I've got some cool ideas on some of these patterns I could do as well, because it seems really light, and that's cool. Nice little sparkle. Nice whole plasma. Police, that one is. Yeah, so some really cool ideas and really cool stuff you can do with this, which is really smart. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I hope this has been insightful. I hope this has helped. Any questions, or if there's anything that I've missed and left, please give me a shout. Trying to improve every day, but other than that, please like and subscribe. Comment and ask questions away, please. Just hit me up. I'm also on Discord as well, sort of hanging around there. So yeah, cool. Hit me up, let me know what you think, and enjoy.